3, 2, 1.
Oh, mine's already started.
Level up.
Counting down.
Level up. Well, mine was counting down. We are live. My marriage matters. Your marriage matters. Our marriage matters. Hey, 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 hey. My marriage matters. Your marriage matters. Our marriages matter. Hey, hey.
You know they're going to see what you just did, even though they're not on here. Jeez, man.
It's good. We're good. What's your thing doing? Hi. Where my people at? It is time.
Right.
It is time.
Come on in the room.
It is time to cut up. Because today, I'm going to cut up. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut up. Yeah. Who's in here? See people logging in. Say hey. Shoot a heart. What are you saying? Okay.
Come in the room.
Y'all, are y'all ready for this? Because it's going to get fun.
Come in the room.
Why? How do you do this thing?
Oh, but you was doing your countdown to do that and all that.
I don't like
Come in the room. Yep.
So, tonight is going to be fun.
Come in.
I have so many wonderful things to say about all
Oh,
these,
look at Double J.
all these people.
What's up? Look at y'all. This dude.
Mom twin. Oh, hi, honey. Where the other person went? Now, y'all got to quit playing because this is about to be a good live. And y'all about to be in and out the room. I need folks to tune in and be in here.
We'll be all right.
Of course. I ain't worried about it. But, it's 6:58, so I'm trying to see if a few more people are going to log on before I start.
No, we give it a few minutes, so we got time. We give it. Y'all come on in the room.
I'm tired, guys. It's a Sunday. Make you sleepy.
I'm gonna let you.
Preach about the marriage. I don't need to be.
You need to learn something.
No, not. Sure do. Sure do need to learn something. Ooh, all right, y'all. If you ready for tonight's live, say hey. Hey, hey.
You tripping, right? You in your group.
No, your thing is tripping tonight.
Told you something with the internet.
Okay, y'all. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right. I've been told you to call. I don't understand. Oh, now that's a good one, actually.
What is that?
What about for those of us that have casted out marriage completely, like they just was like, I'm never getting married?
Oh yeah, we can talk about that tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We sure can. I'm happy for those that get married. It's a beautiful thing, but it's not for me.
Okay.
You never know that if it is or not.
Okay.
You just been probably running into all the wrong people, so that's all. But that can be fixed. Trust me, I've been there. I would tell you to connect here, but just.
I mean,
it don't matter.
If I hit my hotspot.
All right, y'all.
You want me to do this?
I mean, do you?
You know what? My hotspot. I can do my hotspot.
That means you're going to turn that off to hook it up.
Well, yeah, it's good. I'm trying to see what it's supposed to be. See something. We're good.
Mm.
Oh, that ain't doing it.
No.
Or we're going in and out. Yeah, we're having some internet issues.
I'm not having any internet issues. I'm just not saying anything. So that's probably why it sounds like I'm going in and out. I didn't say anything just yet. But I'm getting ready to begin. Just trying to see what's going on with this. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and go forward. Because it's being goofy.
Yeah, we're having some, well, for my...
Thank you. She says she loves our shirts.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I'm just...
Well, baby, I'm not waiting for this to get started.
Okay,
I'm
so...
waiting for people to jump on.
Well, I mean, there's people on now.
Okay.
So. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into our topic. So I'm silly, but what I put out there was how to, I guess, dealing with the she demons. Now, I call them she demons because I've dealt with them for a long time, especially pertaining to my husband. It's something about him, I guess, maybe his height or yes, but dealing with other women, they're gonna want your man at some point. And even if you're married, people don't respect marriage anymore. They definitely don't respect. Oh wow!
You might have to come off the Wi-Fi.
I'm not on it. That's
Okay.
the crazy part. Hold on, something's going on with the connection. I have no idea what's happening.
T-Bone.
Okay.
T-Bone is
There
on.
it is. I don't know what's going on. This internet is crazy, and I'm not even on the Wi-Fi. Anyhow, okay. So I've dealt with different situations, but for some reason, men don't seem to notice when a woman is coming onto them or if a woman is flirting with them. And I've always said that my husband is...
It's good, T-Bone.
My husband is Stevie Wonder.
No, I'm not Stevie Wonder, but go ahead.
My husband is Stevie Wonder in Ray Charles. When it comes to certain situations, he doesn't see them. And so I always call him Ray Charles. That's what it was. And I said, you don't see anything that these women are doing. But as women, we can read each other. Especially when you have a man of God. There are a lot of women that are drawn. Oh my, what's happening here? What's going on?
Just keep flowing. Is this in there? Yeah, don't end it. It's gonna.
I can't because you can't. I don't think. Can you guys still hear me?
They probably can. This is just.
They.
See, it's gonna. We're good.
So anyhow, the live keeps cutting in and out. I have no idea what's going on with that. Okay, so with my husband, he is different. He's a different character, and he's always says, "Oh, she's not flirting. She's just being nice." But see, as a woman, we know each other. And so it was hard for me because to me, knowing that this is my husband, I looked at it as disrespect. I don't take lightly to disrespect. And back then, I could honestly probably say that I was always ready to fight. Period. If I felt like I was being disrespected, or any of those things, our little baby just walked in. I always just wanted to fight more than anything because there is an aspect. Okay, this is my husband, but most women don't care, and I won't say most. A lot of women don't care. But being that he's a man of God, like I said, the anointing draws women. They might not always want him per se, but they might be drawn to what he has to offer. Just like I'm a people person, people are drawn to my personality. So it's kind of like they might not want me in that way, but they might want to be around me, I guess. But dealing with those type of situations were pretty hard for me, especially being, I guess, in the marriage, just starting out. It was very hard. I dealt with so many different women from different places, people from his past, ex-girlfriends, just you name it. People come out the woodwork, especially when you look like you're happy, you're in a new relationship. So those are things that we dealt with in the very beginning. Now, 14 years later, believe it or not, I'm actually learning to navigate those situations in a better way. Learning to not be so ready or quick to want to fight, but more so just kind of quick to try and understand the situation and kind of look around, look at my surroundings, kind of just figure some things out, because what men don't understand is that when you give these women attention, whatever it may be, even if they're just trying to talk to you, like they are so thirsty, like the woman might be so thirsty to get your spouse's attention or your fiance's attention or whatever. If you're in a relationship, these women are so like they're so thirsty for the attention from your mate. We can see it, but the man doesn't see it. And so oftentimes what I'm going to say is the best thing to do is not to get mad at your spouse. For a long time, those are some of the mistakes that I made, was getting mad at him because he didn't do it. You know, he didn't make her disrespect me, or he didn't make her come over there and try to flaunt or show out and bend over or do different things, different situations that we've encountered. Women just being women and trying to see how far they can get. I mean, it took me a while to learn how to balance my emotions, because I'm just like, you know, I want to fight her, but I can't do that because, you know, I have a family, a ministry, a business. I have children. I mean, you can't just be out here throwing hands. But that was always my first response. And then because I couldn't do what I wanted to do to her, I would take it out on him. Granted, there's things that he should have noticed. I mean, come on. I'm a woman, and if I'm attracted to him and I say certain things, he should be seeing some of the things that they do too. That's how I felt. But men are different. They think differently, and a lot of times they don't worry about the same things that we worry about as women. That's just an emotional part of it. Like, we're all different. Men usually got their heads in the clouds and not really looking or thinking. So we had a situation. I'm not really gonna go into the situation, but I think I handled it pretty well. We went out to eat last week, and this girl was really trying, but she was kind of she was trying to be subtle about her flirting. And she tried to say, oh, well, you know, she didn't say anything inappropriate. It was just the fact that she kept coming by my table. I think one of the times either she had bent over or she like came by my table and had her butt tooted out in my husband's direction. And I'm thinking to myself, you're a greeter. Why are you even over here? Like, the greeters, there's nobody, you're not seating anybody. You're not, you know what I'm saying? She just was over there.
Look at your son. That's because we don't be interested. We only have eyes for one. That's right, T-Bone.
I'm by.
That's right, T-Bone.
First of all, okay, so my son.
He talking that daddy talk.
Yeah, exactly. He sounds like his daddy. But let me tell you something. That is true.
That's right.
That is true that you may only have eyes for the one you're with. But you also have to understand, if a woman feels like she can even take your attention off the one that you love just for a minute, she's going to try, because it's a challenge for her. So that's the thing. Like, the girl was challenging me, and she didn't know that I caught her, because she was going a whole total. Now, this is a greeter. She has no reason to be by the tables. She don't have to get drinks. You're not a server. She's supposed to be at the front desk minding her business, but she's all by my table, trying to see what we're doing at my table, coming by, bending over and doing all this extra stuff by my table. And I said, you know what, God, you have really, truly helped me, because people will try you. And God has brought me a long way. And I didn't immediately want to smack her, but, you know, we're human, you know, and God knows. But then when she was going a different direction and I saw her come back just so she could walk up to him and say something stupid because she wanted his attention. But then when I called her out on it, because I'm all about that life. Like, if you're going to do stupid stuff, be prepared, because I'm coming. Now, I let a lot of things slide in these 14 years, but now I'm coming for you, because I'm not going to allow you to get away with that, especially because you might be doing it to somebody else. Somebody else might knock you out next time.
Well, let's clarify. When you say you're coming for them, we don't want the audience to think.
Oh, no.
In other words,
I'm not coming to beat her up. I mean, address the situation, and like an adult. But see, like I said, a lot of women will throw hands. And, and I told her, next time, the next person you do that to might not be so nice. And she was like, well, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything that was inappropriate. But it's not about the inappropriateness. It's about you trying to get my husband's attention. I'm not dumb. I'm a woman. Sis said, Anthony said she can try, but that doesn't mean she's going to succeed. And and he will let it happen. You should have tripped her.
Oh,
nah, that's my girl.
Oh boy.
I cannot. That's my girl. She's so funny. No, like for real.
Jesus.
You right.
Gave you fuel to
but
your
listen,
fire.
she did fuel my fire. That's why we friends. But that's what I'm saying. It's like when she did it, she didn't know I was watching her. But I have eyes on my man at all times. And so the fact that she kept walking by my table is what made me watch her. Now, if she wouldn't have been being so obvious, I probably wouldn't have been paying her any attention. But you walking by, ain't nobody over here for you to see and talk to. All the waitresses are taking care of the tables. She kept trying to find something to say to him. And me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what are you looking for? So when she saw me catch her, she walked by with this uncomfortable smile. But my thing is this. He answered her. Like, whatever she had said, oh, have a good night. Now, mind you, we're not even on our way out the door. This is what I'm saying when I say women will try everything in their power to get your man's attention. And granted, I didn't think he wanted her. I wasn't even thinking about that part. I wasn't worried about her. She was not a threat to me. It was the mere disrespect, like the audacity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you saw us coming together. Mind your little business and stay at the front desk where you belong. Or I will make sure that I put you back at the front desk, because that's how I felt. But we did, like I said, I talked to her and she called herself, calling to apologize. But she tried, well, I don't want your husband. Never. And I said, baby, I never said you wanted my husband. I said, but you're extra and you need to tone it down a little bit. And I told her little friend. And her friend was agreeing, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just blame gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So many things I could have done, but I'm trying to be better. Quit. Stop egging me on. She's so funny. But it's little things like that where I see growth in myself. Because in all actuality, I really wanted to give her so much more than what I gave her. But I had some good spiritual counsel in my ear that, to remain godly and to not give her the earful that I wanted to. I love you too, Justice. That's my cousin.
Oh, J Money.
And I really wanted to be in that mature space and to show my husband, like, listen, I'm not the same little feisty firecracker that I was. I said, but I can go back. You just have to protect. You have to protect. That's what I'm saying. I protect my husband with everything that I have. And yes, he protects me. Don't get me wrong. But what I say by that, I have to protect his heart. And especially like when there's women like her that are thirsty. And she had to just make sure she come and brush up by him. I mean, all up on him. Wasn't she all up on you?
No.
She was all up on him. So that's what I said. He didn't see her because he's so big. But she was a little short girl like me. And she came and wrestled on by. And I'm sitting here like, why are you by him? Like, why are you even talking to him? You know what I'm saying? She didn't have she had to find something to say. She was so thirsty. And then gonna try to play it off. I didn't say anything inappropriate. I wasn't even leaving out the door, little girl. So how you gonna say have a good night? Aren't you a greeter? Aren't you supposed to tell somebody to have a good night as they're walking out? Not while I'm still in the restaurant. She just looked completely dumb. And so I said stuff like that. And my husband said something back to her. He said, yes, ma'am. I told him, I said, you shouldn't have even said yes, ma'am. You should have ignored her because that's what she wanted. You gave her and you satisfied the craving that she had for your attention. You gave her attention. And so even though it sounds like petty, it's not him. It was her. And I didn't want her to have the satisfaction. Men, never give women the satisfaction of getting your attention, especially when they are trying so hard. And even if you're with your woman or you're not with her and she's not around, don't give these girls the satisfaction to even think that they could disrespect your spouse or your significant other. Those are the things that I struggle with throughout my time of being married, throughout my time of being in my relationship, even before marriage. It's just the women, and they feel like, they can do things and get away with it. Granted, I can't control what they do. I can only control what I say, and he can control how he responds. And so that's my thing. I always want him to respond.
Look at your son.
and say nothing and ignore her because she don't deserve no attention from my man. But I don't know. Women can just be extremely territorial, which causes them to overreact. They can be, and like I said, I used to be that way, but also, Tiquan, y'all cannot be so naive to think that these women aren't trying to get in between you and your significant other. Like, as far as I know, you and your father are very handsome, and your brother, you guys are handsome men. So when you're out, women are going to look. I don't care. You can look, don't touch. And the bottom line is, this is my husband. You don't have anything to say to him that you cannot say to me. If she was going to shimmy on by talking about some have a good night, she should have shimmied her little bald-headed self over to the table and told me to have a good night too. But that wouldn't make sense because we weren't leaving. So I'm saying it's little things that people do to get under your skin. And they also do it to earn attention from your spouse or whoever. That's like if a man was doing something and he was going a whole different direction and he saw me get up and he came all shimmying over there trying to talk. You didn't do that if my husband was standing next to me, or you didn't come to the table and, try to say anything to both of us. It's like little slick stuff that you have to watch. But at the end of the day, the man has to be the one. The man has to be the one to shut it down. That's all I'm saying. Anthony said there's a lot of energy coming out. Yes, I have a lot of energy because literally I wanted to talk to her manager because she called my phone back. And at first I thought she was trying to get smart, and I was getting ready to tell her that I was going to come back up there. But I let it go. I did. I let it go and I gave it to God because God knows. Like I said, now, instead of me overreacting, what I will do is I'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and watch. What are you doing? I'll go ahead and I'll watch before I speak. Slow to anger, how that goes. So I don't know what's going on with my little.
So with this situation, now you've heard my wife's viewpoint about this, and it's not the fact that, and I think my son hit on something, and he hit on a very good point.
One quick second,
go right ahead.
Just to let you guys know, if it cuts out, because we're having internet issues over here for whatever reason, if it cuts out, bear with us. We'll be right back. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, babe.
The thing with men, and I think women have to understand, is that when we are secure in ourselves and we are secure in who we're with, we're not easily distracted by women that may be trying to get our attention. Now, there are some occasions, one in particular, I think right after service, we went out to dinner, and what ended up happening was,
what's he fine?
Hold on, my son, no. When we secure in ourselves and we're secure in who we're with, we don't worry about that. It's like our attention is focused on our relationship, who we're with. But I want to make this point. There was one time we were out to dinner, and for some odd reason, this happened on 2 or 3 different occasions where when the bill came to the table, the waitress asked, is this separate or together? Now, the one lady I checked, and I checked her because she came to the table, and I knew I picked it up. My wife didn't pick it up this time, but I picked it up. I could tell she was feeling something about me. And I picked it up, and when she came to the table this particular time, my wife didn't think nothing of it. So I'm going to tell you, this is flipped role. Here I am. I actually picked up that the chick was feeling me.
It wasn't that I didn't think nothing, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. So watch this. The chick was feeling me, and my wife didn't pick up on it. So when the chick came to the table, she's like, I knew she was feeling me by when she said, is this separate or together? Because she was looking at me, and she didn't think we really had a relationship. I don't know what she thought, but she thought we really wasn't together. So she was trying to figure out, was this one bill or separate? And I said, excuse me. I said, you don't see this ring on my finger? I said, why would you even think that it would not be one check? I said, I'm married. Now, listen, if I recognize something, I know how to be assertive and address. And that was one of the first times in this particular situation, my wife was just so happy because of how I addressed it. Because usually, realistically, as I opened up, I really don't pay attention because I see what's going on, but I really don't pay attention. And it's because I'm not trying to pay attention. Okay, I'm focusing on the fact that if I have my wife and I are out, we're out. Now, what I had to do, watch this, because my wife would think I was looking at somebody. So now what I had to do to make her feel comfortable, I had to learn how to stop looking around. Because sometimes, I'm very observant. When I see activity around me, I'm always watching, I'm always looking. But my wife would think that I was looking at somebody. And so now what I've learned to do now is to try to, if we go to a restaurant, I would try to have my back to any attention.
No.
Watch this. I'm going to help you out. I try to have my back to any attention that may be distracting or cause me to look around so I can look straight at my wife. And then she will see all that's going on. So I did that because I wanted to bring security. My wife was feeling uncomfortable. She felt that I was checking other women out. And I wanted her to know that I wasn't checking other women out.
Yes, she was.
Oh.
Wait, okay, no.
Man.
So what we gonna do, we're gonna rewind because first of all, the reason the little girl, she felt some type of way with him or whatever, I felt I was being tested. So I was trying to keep calm. That was my thing. I was trying to keep calm and not jump because I always jumped in like, oh, you gonna disrespect me, blah blah blah. When we are secure.
Look, Junior number one, he talking like his daddy.
Yeah, because y'all both the same, so y'all both probably do the same stuff.
No.
Anyway, so no, because he over here trying to act like he just got it all together. No, I don't want to hear it. Because the thing about it is, for so many years, we went by without my husband saying anything. That was the problem. He never checked the situations, even when the women would do certain things. I mean, there's been women that have called him baby. They was calling him baby and all this other stuff. Now, granted, I was like, oh, no. Hey, Courtney. I said, no, that's not going to work. That's not your baby. Okay? And so it was just people are just weird. I don't know. It was very weird. And it made me feel weird. I mean, my thing is, you didn't call me baby. And not that I want you to, because I'm not your baby either. But at the end of the day, like, just be normal. I guess. Maybe. And the girl was like, oh, that's just how I talk. And I said, not to my husband, though. You know what I mean? And like I said, for years, it went unchecked. I always ended up upset because, like I said, people are going to be disrespectful because a lot of people don't respect marriage. They don't respect a union. They don't have the respect for the relationship. Some people speak like that, specifically older. And it wasn't an older nobody. It was a young girl that was about my age, and I told her to cut it out. Well, actually, my husband told her to cut it out because I was getting ready to give her my mind, whatever. But I let it go. I let him handle it because I try. Right. Look at the little fox. Anthony said, Justin, it's not that you're looking. You just got to be aware. And that's okay. And see, now, granted, since he gonna tell on me talking about I would think he was looking at women. Always been plenty of times when he was. And he would say, oh, I thought that was my student. Oh, I thought I knew her.
Well, yeah.
No.
That's real. That's real.
And so
but at least I was honest about it.
But if I see you staring at some women, I don't know why you're doing it. Or you know what I mean? Like, don't make it look like I'm just crazy. Like, I just be over here thinking you looking at everybody.
No, you're not crazy. But I mean, just for example, if somebody comes in a restaurant and it may be a male, and you may, I thought that was my cousin, or it looked like my cousin.
I'll say it. See, this is the thing. You're quiet. He's quiet. I'll say it flat out. Oh, babe, does that look like blah, blah, blah? Oh, or whatever. I'll make it known. I'm just sitting there looking like, Oh, my bad, babe. Yeah, I wasn't looking at his gray sweatpants. I thought it was my family member. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just tell me ahead of time.
Well, but see, the difference is now that we've learned that level of communication that
the student. No.
Yeah.
And he would say things.
But see, the thing about it is when I'm out and about, I do see a lot of my students, or
he does.
So,
I say that.
And in one particular time, I looked, and it looked like it was one of my students. So I did look a couple of times, but my wife has to be, once again, this is with security. It plays a very important role in the fact of you have to trust your mate. You have to trust that that your mate is not going to do anything hurtful and disrespectful. And this is very key, because if you have it in your mind in a relationship that you feel that you're with somebody that's going to hurt you and abuse you, can I tell you honestly, you don't need to be with that person. You don't need to be with a person that you feel uncomfortable with, or you feel that person is going to be trying to cheat on you, or is going to try to be with somebody else. You don't need to be in that relationship. If you in a relationship, you should be able to have the freedom if you see something and trust your mate in their response. You see what I'm saying? No. This is
because you can't. My thing is this though: we all have eyes, but you also have to understand from a different aspect. If I see you staring down a female, no matter if you thought it in your mind that it was a student, or you thought, oh, I know them, or however, you're still staring at another woman while your significant other is standing there. So of course they're going to feel some type of way.
But then
you know what I mean?
But then I owe you an explanation, and so then when
and then we talk about it.
Yeah. So then I say, okay, honey, hey, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I just thought that was one of my students. That's why I looked, because it looked like one of my students. But
Anthony said you need some blade shades.
Oh,
I'm going to give him some.
No,
he doesn't need. No, like I said, we're in a great place. It's not like that anymore. Like I said, the situation that happened last week. Like I said, I did have to check the young lady. But at the end of the day, like I said, there will be women that will try to play it off, like make it look like you're crazy. Because she really tried it with me. She tried to, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't, But honey, you went all the way out of your way, and you've been going out of your way all night. So not to say, like, I was very slow to anger. I was observant instead of just jumping right in and accusing. Because, like my son, Tiquan, said, us women can be overreacting, or we can be overreactive or whatever.
Oh, look at T-Bone. He said, laugh out loud.
We not blind. I saw that. We not perfect either. True, I'm not blind neither, but you're not going to catch my eyes wandering all around. So that's for a different day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blind, but like I said, the status I made last week, I said, why do men's eyes be all over the place, but a woman like me, okay, like we, the women, they be tripping about the gray sweatpants. Okay, we can all trip and say, the men might see a big old booty, but the women see the gray sweatpants. Like y'all come on, we grown. You said he wearing sweatpants? Okay, yeah. So with the gray sweatpants, you can see a lot more, okay, than you would with darker clothes. So the women say, okay, so for me to say, okay, well, we have eyes and we're not perfect. Absolutely. I don't expect men to be perfect. But if it was flip side and it was a male and he got his life together or whatever, if you caught me staring, how would that, men can't take what they dish out. I'm sorry. Y'all can't. Because you cray.
Oh.
Bye. Justice, get off my life. He is so stupid. Listen, we went to the movies a few years back, and this chick came and hugged Anthony saying, hey, best friend. He pushed her off. She then danced away. I'm like, Harpo, who this woman? She thought he was Andrew.
Oh, okay. Thought she. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's just.
Well, I'm glad that was cleared up. But is it safe to say that as men and women, we just have a natural
liking to look
at the opposite sex? I don't know. Listen, absolutely. I'm not tripping about the look. It's when you look, and then you look again, and then you look 3 times, and it's like, okay.
But see, then that's that's where the explanation comes in.
I know.
Where if I have in that situation, it looked like my former student, so I did look a couple times because I'm like, whoa, is that actually my student? But I owed you an explanation. So what I'm saying is not the fact that I'm actually checking out another one. That's not. But
in my mind, like I said, in any woman's mind, if we don't know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be an insecurity. Hey, Amber, love you.
Hey.
It doesn't have to be an insecurity just because I feel like my partner is looking at someone else. Because if you're looking, it don't matter if you're looking because you thought you knew him or you're looking because you like what you see. The bottom line is if I see you looking and you're with me, anybody would feel uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable feeling. Like, wait a minute. My man with me, but he done looked at Shorty like 3 times. Hey, do you know her? What is this? Like, what are we doing here?
No, because that situation, then that
makes me feel, that would make I think any woman would feel a certain type of way. I mean, what do y'all think? Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, your overall view of it is not bad. The point that I'm making is, yeah, I saw that. The point that I'm making is that, once again, that I owe you an explanation.
Yeah.
If you feel like, honey, you looked at that person too many times.
And we talked and we had those conversations. So, yeah.
So, yeah, in that sense, yes. That's how you keep the security in your marriage, keep the security in the relationship. Because I don't want you to start feeling insecure or feeling that you're not good enough. I think we had a Facebook, one of my spiritual brothers had a Facebook a post or video dealing with, why he was talking about why he felt that men look at women or whatever the case like that. And he was talking about the word lust. And I was honest. I told my wife, I said, listen, with my type of jobs and profession, I see things all shapes and sizes, but it does not mean I'm lusting or I'm pursuing none of these women. For example, I work at a gymnasium. I'm a building supervisor, and I work at a gym. So I see women all shapes and sizes, different builds, different clothing. But the reality of it is I'm not seeking after them. I ain't trying to get with them because they got whatever tight garments on or whatever the case is. I'm working at a gym. I'm going to see things. But the reality of it is because I see it does not mean I'm lusting or I got to get with that chick. So that comes with self-discipline. That comes with self-control. See, now, if I didn't have no self-control, then yeah, I probably would lust in a sinful way towards somebody. But you have to learn how to self-control. You got to learn how to control yourself as far as, and maybe what you see. That's just the reality of it. So, but I can be transparent with my wife and say, yeah, I see stuff all the time, but I don't want what I see. And I told her, I said, that's why I married the woman I married, because you have anything that I may see, you have what I'm seeing, in a sense. So I'm going to come home to the same thing. I got this at home. So why do I got to want for something that's out there, and I married the person that has the same thing at home? Now, that's not going to stop me from seeing things, because I work in places where those things may be, okay, I may see it. That's just the reality of it.
But do you be triple checking it?
No, ain't nobody triple checking it.
Yeah.
But I'm being transparent. Real. We on here. I don't have no problem being transparent. We said you have that. See, that's what I'm saying. T, look. T talking like his dad. He know.
No, he's saying stuff. I'm gonna beat him up.
Oh.
In marriage, noticing an attractive person will happen. What's the solution? Heck, I've noticed attractive women and make a comment like, wow, did you see her? Yeah, I'm not doing all that because I'm not going to bring no more attention than she already might be having. But not to say that I won't notice another woman's beauty. Absolutely. I'll tell women, oh, hey, you're beautiful. Okay. But like I'm saying, if I'm with my spouse and a woman walk by, if your head turn and it's breaking, the neck is breaking, we gonna have a problem. That's all I'm saying. So true. I feel like you should just be like, oh, hey, I thought that was so-and-so or whatever the case may be. Don't just be silent staring. Right. And we've had those moments. Like the one time we were at Red Lobster and he kept looking at these girls. Now, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm sitting this way. He's facing this way. And these girls just walked in and sat down. And he just kept looking over there. And I got mad because I'm like, do you see something over there you want? Like, that is crazy. Like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, well, I thought I knew them. But it made me uncomfortable. I'm just saying, I was sitting there.
See, what Pastor Mike said, he said, same applies to women as well. please don't act like some women. And so, in other words,
but we already addressed that.
Yeah,
that's what I just said. Like, if we did that, and if it was flip side, and he might not just be looking around, but it was me. He wouldn't like that if he saw me staring at a dude. Because, I mean...
Well, and once again, let me slide this important comment in. And some may agree.
She said you got a calm bishop voice.
Let me slide this in because one thing that I always tell my wife, before I got into this relationship, and this is something that is very, very important I'm about to say, is that as a male and a female, whenever you're coming into a relationship, one thing you have to learn how to do is to be secure in yourself. I think what happens is you get into relationships and you're a man or female or both have some insecurities coming into a relationship. And so what happens is when you come into the relationship and you're not secure in yourself, what happens is it brings instability in the relationship.
It's time to fight.
Okay, you bring an instability into the relationship. So then moments like what we're talking about right now gets blown up to something bigger because one or both are insecure about themselves. So it's not that I'm the finest thing walking. Now, my wife may say that. It's not that I'm the finest thing walking, but I've learned how to have security in myself. Like, I know there's other dudes out there that's fine. They may be much bigger than me, built, whatever. Regardless of how sexy they may look or whatever the case,
Thank you,
I'm confident in myself. I don't care what they look like. I know, one, I'm not ugly, and I'm not going to try to compare myself. So, but I'm saying all this of learning how to have security in yourself. So now, if my wife is dealing with, or your husband is dealing with some insecurities, then it's important for the spouse, the secure one, to help that spouse build their security in themselves as well as the relationship.
But what happens when the spouse is feeding the insecurities and doing stuff? That's the problem.
Okay.
Justin said he a good looking dude and he married and he in good shape. I know it's hard for you. I know a good dude when I see it. The devil's always hard at work. True. So Lauren, we see you're strong in this, but flip side, Justin, if you notice a man looking a little too much at wifey, what do you do?
I don't really trip about it because I'm secure in myself. And I tell a dude to his face, enjoy looking. You come home, she come home with me. Now, it would be a problem if she wasn't coming home with me. I know men, when we first got together, what?
You had a situation.
That's because he was looking at my daughter. He was looking at my daughter.
You went off. Let me tell you.
He was looking at my daughter.
No, he said, my husband, my wonderful husband. Now, this is when we first started. And he said, don't be winking at my wife. Now, he getting ready to fight.
I said, don't wink at my daughter and my wife. Because my daughter was walking, and I saw him wink at my daughter. My daughter was like 10, 11 years old. So I felt like, whoa, like, dude, don't wink at my daughter or my wife. Because I don't know exactly who he's winking at, but he's winking. So, yeah, I'm going to address that. But that doesn't mean I'm insecure. You know, I'm secure in myself.
But me feeling like a woman, that's what I'm saying, babe. But me feeling like if you're looking at women, like if you're looking at women and you're triple checking, like I call it, you're triple checking, and I don't know why, that doesn't make me insecure for saying, what are you looking at? Because you've been looking. And it was true, right? But
once again, with that situation, I owed you an explanation.
You did, baby. And and we took care of it. That's what I'm saying on both ends. Like, if a man felt a certain type of way, that doesn't mean you're insecure because you're like, hey, what you looking at, bro? Like, mind your business or whatever. And so for a woman, if a woman sees you, even for whatever reason, if a woman catches you staring down another woman while y'all together, that doesn't make her insecure. She just like, you know, bro, that make me uncomfortable for anybody, I think, you know?
Toe tag team.
That's how dads react. That's some R. Kelly stuff, winking at kids. Boom, and that's it. Y'all going home together. Yes, absolutely. Let's be honest. Insecurities are personal. We cannot blame anyone else for our insecurities. When you walk out and you look good, people will notice. They gonna notice when you raggedy too. You right, Jonelle. You right. The wink was too much. He had every right to check that, wife or daughter. Absolutely. And he did. But that's what I'm saying with men, you know, if they see something, they would, it made him uncomfortable. And it was like the dude didn't necessarily say anything to me, and I didn't see him wink. I thought he winked at Trinity. But you know how old people do. Like, he wasn't even old. But you know how back in the day, people be like, oh, your kid is so cute. Oh, he's so cute. Or they're like, oh, you're so adorable. And they wink at him, or they smile at him, or they wave. Like, I didn't, in my mind, I didn't think anything of it at that moment, because I wink at kids now. Little babies, and they're cute. Or I'm like, hi. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think nothing of it, but my husband was offended by it. And so him checking it didn't make him insecure. You know what I'm saying? With me, but we as women will overreact, overanalyze, and push something that isn't even pushable. And that's true. And I have done that. But a lot of times I was also right. And the fact that my husband just didn't see it, it just looked like I was crazy.
And that's a good point, Miss Jonelle. I think with that point is that if my wife does overreact or take something too far, I try to be the one to say, okay, honey, let's not look at it in this sense. This is what really happened. I don't want you to think that this is what I'm doing. I don't want you to feel that way. And so now I make it. This is me now. Most men may not do this, may not agree. I make it my responsibility to make sure she's okay. Okay, so I'm always trying to make sure that she's okay. Even if she feels insecure, let's talk about why you feel insecure, and then how can we solve the problem. So that's why communication is the key, and how we approach the situation helps, because we want our mates, whether husband or wife, we want them to feel secure, and everybody's insecurity levels are different.
But we're done with the insecurities, because what we're saying is we're not even talking about insecurities at this point. We're talking about the facts. So the thing about it is, what I'm saying is, yes, in the past, there may have been insecurities on both ends. So it's not just me. There may have been insecurities with my husband. There may have been insecurities with me. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, if you see something as a human being, it's like after a little while, you kind of like, okay, you know, the thing ain't thanging. It ain't right. It seems like it's not, you know what I'm saying, what you would think that your spouse is supposed to do or whatever. Like, you would think like, okay, no, we're further than this, or even the other person. You know what I'm saying? It's the processing of it. Yeah, Jonelle, exactly. It is. And sometimes it takes time to learn how to process in the proper way. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been working on over the years. Because even though the other person may have been wrong and my husband missed it and it went right over his head, it's like, I still have to sit in that thing. And I still, like I told him the other day, I was like, you know, I used to feel so alone because I got disrespected. The other person seemingly got what they wanted because they were, you know, like fiending for that attention. They were like, oh, I need this. So they do the little mess that they do. And like, I remember the one time we were out to dinner and the girl only refilled my husband's drink. Like, it was almost like I was not there. Like, y'all have to understand the parts of the disrespect. I'm sitting at the table too. And she comes and refill his drink and get him another drink. Don't ask me if I want another drink. Don't ask me if I want, you know, like she was just catering to my husband. And we talked about it later. And I said, babe, do you understand these are the things that I go through? Like, these are the things that people don't see. And then they be looking at me like, man, she crazy. Oh, no. It took me some time to get to that place. It took me a lot of times of being disrespected and walked over for me to finally just blow up. And now I'm just like, I'm on edge. I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm trying, who coming for me next? Like, who want this? Like, who, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can't be that way. And that's what I said. I've grown a lot. I don't want to throw hands right away. Because usually that's what it would have been. But
and then too, what I've been trying to do to help with this situation is, and the way I'm saying this may seem like, well, that's kind of harsh, but I try to, when we're out in a restaurant, I will make a waitress respect my wife. In other words, how I would do it will, for example, we're out, I would tell the waitress, excuse me, can you fill my wife's drink? Or, you know what, I want them to know that, first of all, this is my wife. This ain't just some girl I'm just taking out. And so I will reiterate on several different occasions, no, I'm going to let my wife go first. So they know, like, this is more than just what a person may be thinking it is. And so, one, that reaffirms my wife that I acknowledge her as my wife. Because there's a lot of husband and wives that are not in a good place, and then they go out, and some people, they don't know if they're together or not. And so I want people to know and understand that, this is who I'm with. So even if the waitress may be trying to think, okay, because we dealt with some waitresses that, they trying to find their shot or take their shot or trying to slide something in, or they seem like, they trying to weasel their way in. And so I said, and I try to reiterate, this is my wife. Can you fill my wife's drink? Or, you know what, if my wife went to the bathroom, they came, you know what, my wife wants such, because I know what my wife like to drink. And so I try to do those things even when she's there or not there, because I want whoever's serving us to understand that you need to respect my wife. And so this is important for the spouse to do that for one another. What she say?
I cannot with her. I would have asked for a different server. What we're not going to do is be dismissed and disrespected. Absolutely. But the thing about it is, and I'm going to just be, like I said, this is all about transparency. The world may look and say, okay, we're overreacting. Men may look and say we're overreacting. But people don't understand. People don't respect marriage. Like literally, the world does not respect marriage. The world does not respect relationships, any of that. And so it's so hard. It's a constant battle, because if I go anywhere, for some reason, women are so drawn to my husband. I promise you, y'all might think that we're over exaggerating, and you might think that I'm over analyzing, but I promise you, I sit back and watch. Like now, I'm chill. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to spaz. But women, we are some of the most disrespectful creatures. Now, we're beautiful, but we disrespect each other on a daily. The way we hate each other, and the way that we talk to each other, and the energy that we push toward each other, we are not kind to one another. So I don't expect a woman to respect me, especially when I'm with my husband. I've dealt with it on so many occasions. Girls come up to him and, oh my God, you look like LeBron. And then try to have conversations with him while I'm sitting there. And I'm like, why are you over here? You get what I'm saying?
I got to redirect it. Babe, what you think? You think I look like LeBron?
And I was like, no, you look like yourself. So she can just mosey on along, because it's like they will look for any open door, any crack, any space. And not everybody is like that. I'm not saying every woman is like that. Not every waitress is like that. Not every woman that we come across is like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not the same.
Auntie's on there. Did you talk to Auntie?
I text her.
Okay, good.
So it's kind of like things happen.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But my wife made it very...
I can't. Oh, wait. We got other stuff. Hold on. It's not a play date. It's a marriage, not a boyfriend and girlfriend. Please fill my wife's drink. Thank you. I can't stand a disrespectful woman. Pray for me, cousin. Oh, honey, it's the Cheatham blood, baby. Because I pray for me too. I'm praying for you. Because you know how we get. We got that Nate Cheatham spirit. Mm-hmm. We cuts up. For real. And we don't play that. Said LeBron. Lauren, a husband hater. What? Justice, I'm coming for you. You killed my life. You know what? We are kings. And you know what? I tell my husband, I tell him good morning, king, as much as I can, because he's my king. He's mine.
Now, I want to slide this in here because my wife said something that I thought can bring a segue into the latter part of our live into next week. Is she said people don't respect marriage. Hey, sis. People don't respect marriage like they used to. They don't look at marriage the same. And some of the problems is that people don't understand the purpose of marriage. And so I want to transition into this, and this is something that we can segue to now and then continue it next week.
Yes.
That people don't understand the purpose of marriage. The purpose of marriage, is beyond just saying, hey, she look good, I look good, let's get together. That's a bad situation if you're just basing it on outer appearance. Because outer appearance, eventually we're going to get old. And so...
Stuff going to start hanging.
All that kind of stuff. So but there's a purpose in the marriage. There's a purpose and reason why God brings two people together, and it's a much bigger plan than what you can imagine. You know, sometimes you like I said, you meet somebody and you're ready to settle down with that person and whatever the case is, but you need to find out, God, why are you bringing us together? What is, marriage is a ministry, but when God brings two people together to become one, it's for a greater purpose. And I think what's happening is we just have a lot of people just getting together
because they look good,
and they look good, and they don't really understand their purpose. And so one of the things that I established, with my wife before we got married, I told her, I said, listen, this is who I am. This is what I'm called to, da-da-da-da-da. And it wasn't that my wife didn't have dreams and aspirations and things that she wanted to do and things like that. No, I was establishing order. I was establishing purpose. And that's why I said a few weeks ago, it's a dangerous thing when a man findeth a wife and he doesn't know his purpose. He doesn't know who he is. And then the woman marries him, but the man doesn't know his purpose. He don't know how to lead or direct his family. And so it seems like now the wife has to step in a role that the man should be leading. Mm-hmm. So now it seems like the woman is pushing all the dreams and running things because the man doesn't know who he is and what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
So now it seems like the woman runs the house because the man is lost. He doesn't know his identity.
And that was never designed for that. It was never supposed to be designed that way.
So the wife is to help me.
Yeah.
In other words, when my wife, when we got together, I laid the plan. I laid the purpose. I told her this is, what God has called me to do. And if she was going to marry me, some women may not accept this. This is a hard pill to swallow. If she was going to marry me, this is the way that God has me going. This is the direction. And my wife had to trust the God in me, or trust me and the God in me, that, okay, then I'm submitting to the will of God for us coming together. Okay, so it's not, and then this is, and because my wife submitted to that, watch this, my wife submitted to that, she was still able to fulfill her dreams and passion. She's doing it right now. So she was able to be blessed in the process of this, but she had to commit and submit. Okay, there's some wives that come into the marriage and you think because you make more money than your man that you're going to call all the shots. No, you need to humble yourself. The man he's the head. God established that order. And what's happening now, because we have so much single parent homes and women are making more money and they can pursue their dreams and passions, and they feel that the man that comes in got to follow their lead. No, that's not how it goes. But men will follow the lead of their wives if they don't know who they are. So we have to get back to understanding the purpose of marriage. As you can see in Genesis, God made Adam first, and he established work with Adam. Adam knew who he was. He knew the power and authority he had. He knew he had dominion. And then when Eve came on the scene, she was to help support, help bring balance to his life. So that same order yet applies today. So I wanted to bring this as a segue. If you got questions about the purpose of marriage, we're learning how to fulfill our purpose in marriage every day. And watch this. This is how powerful this is. Even though we have a ministry, Stand in the Gap Ministries, my first ministry is my wife. This is my first ministry. Stand in the Gap Ministries is secondary when it comes to my wife, because the Bible tells us that I have to make sure my house is in order before I do our ministry that we're called to. Okay? So she is my first ministry. I am her first ministry. Besides giving God glory and honor, we are each other's first ministry. Okay? Serving and loving. And it's important. Watch this. Let me help you. Yes. Let me help you that the man, it's important that the man serves. The Bible says the greatest amongst you must serve. So as the priest of the home, I serve my wife and my children. And then in return, I'm teaching them how to serve. Okay? I didn't get married to be served. No, I serve first. And then in return, they serve. Okay, we got some interaction. My wife said to. All right. The world has taken the marriage. I don't know where it went. Okay. There it is. Okay, the world has taken marriage at another level, even if both are saved and following the Lord. How are they on the same page? Well, let's deal with that. If you're both saved, then the marriage is consecrated because you both said that you're saved. But as I submit to Christ, my wife has to submit to Christ, but then she also has to submit to her husband. Okay, that's just the order that God has. Now, because my wife is submitting to me, I don't abuse that by saying, well, my wife submit to me, you serve me. So there's a lot of abuse with that, where the man takes that role and abuses the wife, not just verbally, but just in the position that he holds in the home. So the position I'm in is really to show love, lead by love, directing by love. It's important that I'm helping set the tone, set the atmosphere in the home, and it's by how I lead. If my house is not in order, oftentimes I have to look at myself and how I'm leading. And if I'm not leading in love and how God is instructing me to lead, it can bring discord in the house. But once again, that's why I said, just because two people are saved, if they don't understand their purpose in coming together, it could be a dangerous thing for you to get married. So being saved is good, but then understand the purpose of why God bringing you together. Some people are saved, but they don't understand why God brought them together. And then that could be an issue in itself. Okay. The spouses may have lost trust in each other for whatever reason. And that's true. That could happen. Or you may marry a person you should have only been in a season with. Yes.
Yeah. Just
random reasons that may come up. Yes, I agree with that. There are some people you may meet and that it could be just that season. That's very, very true. Now, I'm not a big person that goes on, like God didn't tell me this was like my wife. Like I was like, Lord, is this my wife? I'm not praying for a wife. There are some people that, you know, they got prophecies. I'm not opposed to, if you got a prophecy, you got a prophecy. I'm not opposed to think that God can't reveal that. But I do firmly believe, according to scripture, it says a man that findeth a wife. That means God has given us a biblical criteria on the wife that we should be choosing. Yeah, they should be saved. They should be love God, should have a relationship with God, all those kind of things. But God gives us that. And so we are to find a wife. So God gives us a choice. He gave us the criteria biblically that we should, when we find a wife, we find, what is it? Okay, very good question. You will find that out in the establishment of the beginning of the relationship. Like when my wife and I, the dating process, when we finally had an opportunity to really date, then I begin to ask questions. Because I want to know where your heart is at. And I begin to share with her my heart, my dreams, what I know that God is calling me to, the direction God. So I begin to share these things, and you'll know just within conversations if that's the right person or not.
Yeah. If y'all dreams and goals align.
Yes.
And y'all both have the same, what is the word I'm looking for? I guess not interest, but you guys both have, I guess the same compassion or the same passion for different things.
The stuff, it just clicked. Like when my wife and I, it just clicked. We have big hearts. We're givers. My wife was willing to. See, this is the plus with my wife. My wife was willing to, not just about submitting. She was willing to serve. She wanted to help. My wife is a visionary. So she saw as I described the very things that God was calling me to do, the spiritual side of her, she could see that in the vision. She can see it. By her being the visionary, she was able to see the things that that God was giving me to tell. God was able to trust her with the things God was giving me. So she was able to see that. And she was able to see her role and how she can help bring that to pass. And so these things will just happen. And that's what happened for us. As I shared my heart, then my wife began to share her heart. Okay. And then I began to see myself in her life and helping her to fulfill her dreams and her passions and things that she felt God was calling her to do. But it was an order to it. And as she submitted to the will of God for my life, for the will of God as far as our marriage, she submitted to that. Not just verbally, but in action. And that's why she's still here now, because she was willing to commit and submit. And because of that, she's been blessed in the process of it. Now, it wasn't easy. You know, she went through some things that I wish she didn't have to go through. I mean, especially when you're fulfilling purpose. And as we grew closer together, even though spiritually we were one, as we grew closer together, God would continue to unveil the purpose. He would unveil it more and more. Yeah. But it's one of the, like you said with your one cry, how do you know? It's through conversation. You know, listen, you know if you with the right person or not. Some stuff will just click. Some stuff you just know in your knower. Like, yeah, this is
your knower.
Yeah, you'll know in your knower without a shadow of a doubt. You be like, there'll be a confirmation, there will be a peace about it. You'll feel within your spirit like, okay, I see God giving me some confirmation that the person that's in my life, that this person may be. Okay? He said, Tiquan, shape up your marriage around the presence of God. Yeah. So I'm just shedding a little bit in this. If you have questions about the purpose of marriage, you know, we're 14 years in, but we're understanding more the purpose for this marriage that God bringing us together is unveiling more and more. So what we saw at the beginning, more has been unveiled in year 14, year 15. More is going to get unveiled because it doesn't stop unveiling. Okay, so we'll talk more about it because I know we've pretty much came to our hour and we like to try to stay within that hour. But if you have questions about the groundwork or the foundation I laid about the purpose of marriage, because the purpose is lost. Now you got men trying to marry men, women trying to marry women, and that was never the purpose. Okay, then you got people that, you know, having two wives and then some women having two husbands, and they don't understand the purpose of marriage.
Yeah, and then we got people like there was the young lady, I don't know, she's probably not on here anymore, but she said marriage isn't for me. Like, but I don't know.
But the Bible does talk about single life. Yeah, the Bible does talk about single life. And it's okay if you desire to be single.
So do we have certain topics? Yeah, we do. We do have certain topics that we talk on, but if people have inboxed us ideas for topics. So we go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. and we have different topics every week. And if somebody wants to go back and touch on the same topic, we can do that too. We are open to doing that because we're here to help. So this is the whole point in doing these lives. We're here to help. Yep. So it's not good for men to be alone.
Yes, it's not. But, you know, Paul addressed it. Paul says, I wish some of you were just like me, that, you know, those who are single, you're more committed to the Lord. You know, so you're taking that commitment, but understand that there's a price for that commitment. And then those who are married, you know, Paul says, stay married. If you're married, stay married. If you're single, stay single. You know, that's right. So, but
wait, what?
But
God is always enough.
But you know where you are. You know, some of you may not want to get married because you've experienced so much hurt. Then at least heal and enjoy life.
Please do.
Please heal. Heal in whatever area of life you need healing, and then enjoy life. You don't have to be single and bitter, and single and frustrated, and single and angry. Be healed or get healed. Get the counseling, whatever you need, so you can move on. You know, and then women, stop looking for the man. Yeah. That's part of the women's issue. You looking for something that God says the man is supposed to find you. So that's part of the reason why some of y'all relationships are jacked up because you looking. God says a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So it's your responsibility to be ready. And so when the man finds you, he'll find a good thing. But if you always dibbling and dabbling and interrupting the process of God, and you keep getting into one bad relationship to another bad relationship, listen, it's probably because you keep looking. God has somebody for you, but let him find you. Yeah.
Steadily going against the word of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, God's will.
So we'll stop there, but part of our continuum of next week is the purpose of marriage. You know, like I said, I laid a little bit of a foundation on tonight about the purpose of marriage. Don't lose sight of why God purposed marriage, the importance of marriage.
Gina said, not everybody's knowers be knowing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Listen, they be trying to know stuff they're not supposed to know sometimes.
Amen,
like
prophet. Yep, amen.
Hence the ladies that just be trying to do the most. They be knowing, they be trying to know.
Amen. So listen, God bless you.
Yeah.
Love you all. If you want, like I said, if you have questions on this topic, or if you have some things that you would like us to talk about on top of what we're talking about, the purpose of marriage, please, we'll dig into some more of this on next week. Ask your questions. We'll talk more about, you know, our purpose and how God brought it together, all that good stuff. So don't hesitate at all. So we thank God for this time. We want you all to enjoy your evening with your spouse or whomever, you know, if you're by yourself. Or even if you're single,
enjoy it. Put you on some music. Do a little dance, a little jiggy jig. Eat you something good to eat. Watch your shows and keep God first.
Amen.
Love you all.
I see you, Dallas.
Keep going. Listen, people's attention span gets going after a certain time. Folks don't want to be on here all night. I love you guys. Y'all so funny. For real. Y'all had me rolling tonight. I appreciate you guys. And please inbox me with suggestions. And I will make sure I add them to the list of things that we're going to talk about. I have a huge announcement coming soon. But I'm going to make y'all wait for a while. But it's coming. So.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to be announcing it with me once I tell it to you.
As Dallas would do.
Read your Bibles, please. Please read your Bibles, as my brother would say. All right, you guys. You have a wonderful night. Love you, Stace.
Love you, Stace.
Sis, tell bro we love him.
Yep, we love him. There you go.
Night, y'all.
Already said no more kids.
Look at you. All right. Love y'all. Good night.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Look at Dallas laughing. I'm done. Good night.